Indeed, how are you? Today is Friday, like I just said, and today is Dragoncast number 3. The podcast of the future is right here on your screens right now. How lucky you are that you get to live this sensation that's about to happen right now. This thing will be talked by everyone in the future. This team is gonna be real in the future, and you guys have a front row ticket to everything that's gonna happen today. As you can see, my guest for today, whatever, is our very own Daddy Khar. I have kept this one a secret from everyone. I haven't told anyone anything. Only Daddy Khar knows, and I hope only Daddy Khar knows. I hope, Daddy Keely doesn't know what we're going to be talking about, because I'm going to be really pissed off if I found out Daddy Keely already knows the content of what we're about to discuss. I'm going to lose it, Daddy Khar. Now, is my father ready to rumble? Let me see that message, Daddy Khar. I'm going to be coughing a lot. There's nothing I can do. Today I switched to zero sugar because I'm looking to be on a diet. What the fuck's Daddy? Daddy Khar is waiting for you? Okay. Let me call him. And it actually works. Hello, Daddy Khar.
Hello, I was just chatting because I was waiting and I was hearing you, and then you were advertising Coca-Cola, and then you put it down, and then you called me, so I was just doing a play-by-play.
Since you mentioned that, we are not sponsored by Coca-Cola, but I sure as hell would love to be.
Yes.
If Coca-Cola is watching, we can be sponsors. I'm just saying.
Just hashtag saying.
First of all, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being the host of tonight's show.
Of course, I was waiting you to come knock on my door, so that was, ding, 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 so thank you for coming and visiting me in your old man age. In the old man age.
Okay, wait. First of all, I just logged on your stream. Daddy Khar or Nexanda on stream is streaming right now. Should we do a collab, actually?
We could do, but we would just have to mute ourselves, but then it would combine everyone together. Yeah.
Ah, fuck it. Just leave it as is for now. We're gonna figure it out. Yeah, we should have followed that a lot earlier.
It's fine. Hello, everybody on the Sun stream. I hope you're all doing well and everything.
I just did a shout out to you. Actually, let me open.
Thank you.
Of course, let me open your stream on my both accounts.
Because and then let me grab you.
Oh, you actually have me as well on your stream. Like you have Johanna. Okay, I love it.
Yeah,
I love
You're sitting on the couch, and your other father should hopefully be settling beside us soon.
Okay, so I just posted something on your chat. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready I'm so excited for this. I've been waiting so much to do this specific podcast.
Oh.
And I'm so glad we can do this together. There's so many topics I want to be talking about regarding this. I see Auntie Ginny as well.
Yes, she is in the corner beside me.
Yeah, I just saw her. That's fantastic. Everyone that's on my stream right now, please throw a follow to Nexanda-Daddy.
Oh, yeah, I do want to get back into it, so you should be seeing me more active. And here comes your other father, jumping over the couch, maybe.
And by should, it means you should definitely do it, otherwise I will end you. Start streaming again. We've missed you.
Yes, I will do, I promise.
And there's Daddy Keely on your stream as well.
There we go. Just shifting you over.
Yit? I just got yitted.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Love it. Daddy Kill is part of the stream as well. I love it.
Yeah.
This is the things we love the most.
Yes. The family gathering.
By the way, before we start, I actually wanted to give you a huge shout out because you continue the trend of making this podcast a little bit more better every single time. So the first time we did a podcast, we had a little potato. I was struggling to make things look good. On Mitsu's picture, I was really struggling to do that. Then Maraki came in the next podcast. We had a collab cam, which I've never done before. And now we have you on my stream as you talk. It lights up.
Yes, and if people are able to see it, every time I talk, my mouth actually opens. On my screen, I've got myself bobbing up and down, but it's all sorted where my PNG tuber actually does its PNG things. It activates as I talk, and it's all good.
Also, as another note, I hate PNGs. Like PNG
Oh, wow,
tubers.
thanks.
Yeah, I really do. Like, when I'm trying to rate someone, with a camera or a PNG. I just don't like it. But I have been a bit more relaxed, more chill about this lately. I kind of understand. It's not V-racist. Well, not V-racist. You can't call me a racist. Here's the thing: you can't call me
racist.
I'm not even a racist because I hate everyone equally.
So, yeah, how to have me crash and burn? Well, you're grounded for the next week. No phone for you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to, be better at it.
Yeah. I do want to say you're also one of the. This is the first stream I'm actually using my new microphone.
Oh.
So I should be a lot clearer than what I have been beforehand. So yeah, hopefully it sounds much better, much clearer, and everything else. So we'll see how it performs this time. Yes. I haven't really set it up properly.
That's fine.
But fingers crossed, I can. After today, I'll adjust it and whatnot.
Exactly. It's a learning process, regardless of anything. All right.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for being the host of today's show, of today's podcast.
Yes, happy to lead the way.
First of all, have you said anything about the topics to anyone?
No, but I did hint at it because the stream music that I was playing was all Final Fantasy related.
That's okay. Daddy Kharsar does not know anything, right?
I don't think so.
Good.
I don't think I've told him.
Because I want this to be like a kind of a surprise. Hello, Pterios, by the way. Yeah. Welcome in. Okay, so let's begin. Let's probably begin. Before we do that, let me say to everybody, we're going to be having a discussion, but we also want your engagement. Like, this is for both chats. I have both streams right now open, so I can look at both chats. And if we see anything, we're going to be jumping on that.
For sure.
Now, before we begin, can you please introduce yourself, Daddy Khar? Who are you? I am your father.
Yeah, I was going to say, but my throat has been sore from talking all day at mostly idiots.
Same. Oh my god, same.
Trust me, I got some stories, but that's a tale for another time. So I usually go by Kharsar, Daddy Killy, no, Daddy Kharsar, Daddy Khar, or Brum Brum.
What just happened?
It's because I saw Killian in the background, okay?
And my brain was like... My true identity is I am Daddy Killy. Dude.
Not that you've got my name on the... Just scratch that out and put Killy on. No. Daddy Khar, Vroom Vroom, because car sounds like a car vehicle. I love to play video games and stream them for content, I suppose, or just to vibe and have a good time, because that's what I'm about. I don't like partaking in drama, but I will happily sip that tea if I'm hearing it. But I will I'm not very largely outspoken, but I'm happy to discuss issues, concerns, and everything else, and I'm just a person that likes a good time to relax to. Stress is too much for people these days. Too much stress. Or rather, provide a peaceful and relaxing time.
So what Daddy Khar is actually saying is that You go to her if you want to relax. You go to me if you want a drama. That's basically what is being said right now.
And then once you got the drama, you come to me, and then I sip the tea and go, yeah, no, that sounds like interesting. Do tell me more.
How dare you? Okay, so we met on Final Fantasy XIV. Which is
we did.
Somewhat the topic of today's video. So, like, I have a very specific thing I want to be talking about, but we're not gonna jump into it. We're gonna tease into it a little bit, and then we're gonna be talking about it. But I want to discuss with you some things that happen not only on Final Fantasy XIV, but it's very, very apparent, especially on that world, on that community, on everything. So I want to be talking about that. I want to discuss community perspective. I want to discuss community inclusions and community etiquette in a virtual world. Again, this applies to pretty much everything on the internet that has a screen basically in front of you. But I think Final Fantasy XIV has set a very different example of how things should be and how things that. Hold on, I need to ban someone. Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because someone says top viewers at X side. How about you go fuck yourself?
Wow. I didn't even notice that, I'll be honest. You got rid of that so quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a mod, like an auto mod for that. So when someone posts, sometimes it catches it. So my actual mods don't have to work. Like my mods are so fucking lax. Like I should fucking get them back into the basement. Too many privileges they have right now. Anyway.
Make them work. Work harder.
Exactly. So, let's start with the basics. What to use to fire them? Daddy kill immediately. Shows violence. Fire them. Like, okay. Let's start with the most basic of things.
Yeah.
Do you think that when someone is interacting with you on a virtual world, let's say in a video game like Final Fantasy XIV, is he or she or it, can be too fucking serious these days, different from how they would approach you in real life? And if so, why?
Yes, purely because of the anonymity aspect of it. In real life, I'm quite shy. If I want to go and say hello to someone, I usually have to be pushed in that direction to do it. While online, I feel that if somebody was to talk to me, I would happily reply back. In real life, maybe not so much. The anonymity it gives and the representation that a virtual character can have, even as my PNG YouTuber, gives me such more confidence in myself alone that it grows me for a better me, I would like to say. I've met some amazing people through it, and I'd like to say that I have grown as a part of that.
Okay. I find this both. Obviously, I know that this is a thing. It happens all the fucking time. But I find it very interesting because I am literally the same person. Like the one you see on a virtual world is basically the one that you see in the real world as well. Like, sure, when I stream, sometimes I exaggerate things. I go over the top a little bit, but that's when I'm streaming. Otherwise, I'm literally the same person, and I think people can vouch for that. Michuo, vouch for that. Vouch that I am the same person.
I think the thing is, with the representation that I feel that I can have for myself, it allows me to be a more confident me. If I were to meet you in person, I would be probably a bit more excitable, and I would try and tone it down a bit. But other than that, I am mostly myself, barring a few exceptions. But that's a completely different scenario altogether. If we're talking, as a general, if you were in a party with me and just chatting, I would just be myself. But I find that virtually I can be a more confident me compared to if you were a stranger and I tried talking to you face to face.
Auntie Jeannie says, yeah, but Khar is more of an RPer. I
Yes.
definitely agree with that. I am too much
Yes,
of an
and
RPer.
that's where the different aspect comes in, where if I'm role playing, I then partake on a different persona, which then allows me to explore views that maybe I don't believe in myself. Like, for example, a religious person. I'm not a religious person, but if I started role playing a character that was religious in any way, such as one of my Dungeons and Dragons characters, because they are a paladin, so they have their oath and their god and they believe in, it allows me to explore a kind of aspect of life that I wouldn't normally look to explore or say things about, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So, jumping on into that, do you think that people choose to act differently on a virtual setting because they don't have the, I don't want to say right, but I want to say the option of being that person that they're trying to identify as or being that they can do in the real world.
It in my view, it would depend on the person.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if people did do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on if that person would do that, for example, because some people online, when they are in an MMO, they are that character, no ends, no ifs, no ands, or buts. Myself, on the other hand, I specifically state, look, I'm in character now. Anything I say going forward is my character and not myself. While then other times, if I'm doing just general content, for example, I am just myself.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with inside jokes and whatnot and everything else.
Obviously,
but it would depend on the person, because some people take the aspect of being in an MMO a bit too far. There have been people who take roleplay scenarios and think that they're real because they can't distinguish between a character and somebody else. They just think that person is that person.
That is scary, honestly.
Yes, and I thankfully have not been on a receiving end. I've been very blessed that has never been the case for myself. However, I do know people who have been in that situation, and it can be scary and it can be good, because not all situations are the same. For example, some people do meet online, do role play, and then do get married and stuff like that. I met my partner through online and whatnot, through roleplay and everything else. But it's one of those things of, it really depends on the person and how they view things, is how I would personally answer that, because every person is different.
I am gonna make wait, Alexander and Alex, this is why I have rules. Yes, and sometimes there are those that can be really crazy. I agree with that. But that's more on the role-playing aspect of thing, I think.
Yeah, and like Killian said, some people think that erotica roleplay, if you erotically roleplay together, that you are together in real life. And some people take that way too seriously.
Yeah. Okay, the amount of unsolicited spicy pictures of everybody. Okay.
Not my fault. Not my fault.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a kind of a different question now. Yes, I am kind of turning this direction to me right now, but I would very much like to ask you, what were your first impressions of me when you first met me? Because you basically saw this really cute, the cutest fuck cat that you see right now on Daddy Kharsar screen. She's perfect. She's so fucking good. So what's your first impression of me when you met me, like the first couple of times, and what are your impressions of me right now? And has anything changed in your perception of me?
So initially when I met you, I thought, oh, you're very nice, very friendly,
You're not.
very outgoing. Well, it is, but different. Please breathe. Don't choke.
Don't choke, yes. On stream.
Yeah, and die. That would be my worst nightmare. Please,
Love you
I'm not
too.
responsible.
Love you too, Auntie Jeannie. Go on, please.
But yeah, you were very nice, very friendly. I think our first interaction was very short, from what I remember us doing maps as a FC.
Nope.
Basically, like a guild for anyone in WoW references.
That's
I know
not,
it was before
that's
that, but that's the first thing I remember.
Okay,
That's the first thing I remember.
Fair enough.
But yeah, and I remember you being kind of kind of new to the game. Like, you didn't know too much, but you wanted to explore other aspects of the game, such as the roleplay side and everything else, but you didn't want to go alone, so I was like helping you, bring you out of that phase. Not phase, but bring you out of the shell a bit in that aspect with the pair of us. But I remember us doing maps, so you were always very helpful, very bright, very energetic, and just, you weren't shy like I could be. I fed off of your energy, so to speak, off. Now,
please
seeing... Of course. The thing is, time has passed where it's like, yes, you're still that, but I know more about you. I know that, obviously, more personal details and stuff like that.
You do?
But pretty much, you're still the words that I described: kind, helpful, energetic, maybe a bit louder than I previously knew of you. But there's that sense of familiarity that I can't not acknowledge, because I know you now, because we are friends and we do talk on effectively a daily basis.
Yes.
You know? Even if we don't talk for like a week, we just say, "Hey, how you doing?" and catch up and be like, you know, like no time has passed at all.
Exactly. Instant. That's a very, sorry about that, that's a very special relationship to me. That's also true for Daddy Kharsar as well. Like, we I don't remember how the dad thing started to become a thing. I really don't. But it's all I know now. Like, I cannot call you by anything else other than Daddy Khar. I cannot. Like,
and if you don't call us by our if you call us by our actual names or our usernames, we freak out. Like, what have we done wrong? You know,
what happened?
It's one of those moments of when somebody says somebody's full name and you go, shit, what have I done?
Exactly. So this was actually a segue to the next thing I'm gonna talk to you about, because when we met, I was pretty new at the game, and just to remind you a little bit, the first time we met, like one of the first things we did was a dungeon, that was a dungeon in Realm Reborn. I think it was one of the late 50s one, if I'm not mistaken.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was something like Keeper of the Lake, because that thing pops up so much.
I can't remember the exact name of it. I remember that the final boss was like a salamander thing. It had statues. Yeah, it had statues that you had to break line of sight, something like that. Yeah, like, if I go into the roulette, I can easily find it.
Oh, God. I've got the game up. Bear with me. Salamanders, level 50. Realm Reborn. What are we thinking? It's not... Is it? It's not Ampador Keep.
No.
I'm trying to think of salamander type things.
Well, I don't think it was salamander. I think it was like one of the void spawn. It was inside a castle.
Was it like not Ampador Keep, or was it Wonder? No,
it can't be Wondrous Palace.
Sunken Temple of Quan?
No, not Hockey Manor for sure. Not Hockey Manor.
No.
Like, it had both inside and outside spaces. So it wasn't Hawking Manor. It could be like a leveling dungeon as well. Like I'm not 100% sure of it. No, not Stone Vigil. I remember Stone Vigil. Fuck that dungeon. Fuck that hard dungeon. Honestly.
Let me go over to her. Was it definitely an ARR dungeon?
Definitely an ARR dungeon. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I remember every single Heavensward and Onward dungeon. Anyway, doesn't really matter.
No.
Doesn't really matter. We met on that. No, it wasn't any snow. Not any snow at all.
No. Okay. So it wasn't Snowcloak.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But I was pretty new at the game, right? So I was like my experience as an MMO player was pretty much everything I knew in World of Warcraft. So that meant okay, so we level up, we do dungeons, we do raids, blah blah blah. That's what I knew. That's what I'm more comfortable in. I like to believe that I was never a bad player in that aspect of the thing. So I wasn't really struggling to, like, I knew the basic, like, okay, I'm going to do my rotation, I'm going to do my keybinds, my macros, blah, blah, blah. I could do all that stuff. But I did not know all the world. Like, what's the rules here, so to speak. Like, my rules when interacting with someone are pretty much the same ones as I have in real life. It's like, be fucking kind. I love that I use fucking and kind in the same sentence. Anyways, be kind, be polite, be, respectful. And once you meet the person, then you go over the top.
Yeah. Basically, don't be a dick.
Pretty much. You can be a dick later, but not right away,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I would like to turn your attention now to how Final Fantasy treats newcomers.
Yeah.
Because it's a completely different relationship than any other game that I've ever played that has an MMO aspect. Not a multiplayer aspect, not an MMO necessarily. Like, I don't know any games that do it as well.
No.
With the newcomers.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about that? Like, have you interacted with any other? Obviously, you have with any other communities, like for other games. Like, it can be anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it vastly differs from community to community, from game to game.
Obviously.
Final Fantasy is one of the most welcoming communities as an MMO aspect that I have ever seen.
Yes.
It treats its Sprout like they walk the golden earth,
we should probably, because there are some, sorry to interrupt you, we should probably say this. Sprout, when we say Sprouts, are basically new players inside Final Fantasy XIV. They're usually, you can see them with like a little sprout over the heads. When we say Sprouts, we basically meet newcomers. New players.
Yeah. And that's how, because by the name you'll see a little planting sprout icon. So that's how you know the difference. And a returning player that's not been playing for a while has the same similar icon with a sprout underneath, but it has a flower on top. So they played the game before, but they haven't played for a while. So treat them like a sprout, basically. There have been times where I have met sprouts and I've absolutely lost my goddamn mind because they're so new, they don't know anything, and you're trying to be helpful, but then you get no feedback, and it's like, okay, I hope you're taking on board what I'm saying because I'm trying to help you, so then you have an easier time later on in the game. I.e., for example, tanks. Primary thing. Most sprouts do not use either tank stance, which is a way to gain enmity so then the party doesn't get hurt. And then there's the other main thing that the tanks use, mitigation, which mitigates how much damage people get. Now, new tanks don't normally read their tooltips. Tooltips are literally there to tell you what the button does when you press it.
Yes. And
there have been times where I've done end game content. They don't have the sprout icon, but they do the dumbest things. I literally have a shot on my Twitch of this situation happening, where I was a mentor meant to guide somebody through a dungeon for the first time, but it was a level 90 dungeon, and at that point that was end game content. That was one of the last dungeons you would do, and yeah, I lost my mind and my sanity during that. And that's the kind of another aspect with sprouts. You get pulled into content as a mentor that's meant to guide them, to help them, as literally in the name suggests, as a mentor. And sprouts get treated with a lot of grace. If they make a mistake, it's fine. If they make 2 mistakes, it's fine. Then you tell them, you teach them. But they have to kind of take it on board, and then you start to go, okay, either this person is not listening, or they're just not they're not a sprout, because sometimes people will make new characters as an alt, which then will help the sprout icon, but they will do things when you're like, okay, you know this person isn't a sprout from what they're doing to the way they're moving, etc. You see. But they are very much treating with a protective bubble around them, with bubble wrap, and you guide them down the road.
Auntie Gina says, when I joined, it was right. I didn't really feel like I was forced into anything. It was nice that you go into instances and not feel like it's your fault if things go wrong, as most will try and walk you through things.
Yeah. And healers, another prime example. As a sprout healer, they will generally do nothing but healing, which is fine. You know you're not going to die, but the dungeon takes twice as long, because even as a healer, you have to do damage. That will make the content go faster. Because they literally, as sprouts, stand there, do nothing until you get hit.
As a side note, I generally don't play healer. It's like, it's not in my nature to heal things. I am here to destroy, you know? I'm like, I have that kind of mentality. I have that DPS mentality in my head.
Yeah.
So when I found out that, not only you are able to DPS effectively as a healer, but it's kind of required, I was like, fuck it. I was like, do you know the meme, like with Rick and Morty? Like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
The one thing that Square Enix did do in Endwalker, which is the previous expansion, they literally made a class where you have to do damage to heal.
Oh, with Sage.
They are actively... Yeah, the Sage. DPSing is mandatory, because if you get to endgame content where you're doing Savage and Savage and
Extremes.
Ultimate raiding.
Okay, Ultimate.
Extremes as well. Extremes as well when they first come out.
True.
You are required to do damage. If you don't do damage, you will not clear it. End of story.
So, let's move a bit back now, because we kind of rushed into the whole raid thing and all of that. I'm sorry. I want to focus on the community includence, like how players, especially veteran players and all that, like want to include you, which is a very strange thing, because the same player that includes you in Final Fantasy XIV, they tell you to go suck a dick in League of Legends. Like, it's insane to me how this... I've seen this happen. It's not like it's part of imagination. I've seen this happen multiple fucking times. I was like, why? So this is where I want to bring you now, because you did start saying that I'm more of an RPer and I play a character. I value that tremendously. I try to respect that. I don't really understand it in the sense that I can't really do it. I have tried it, and Auntie Jeannie now will curse me because we have started a role-playing session and I have not responded. And because I forgot about it, because I really want to go back to it. Auntie Jeannie, I'm really sorry. I will go back to it. I swear. I will get back to it. But what I'm trying to say is, why are things different in Final Fantasy than any other game? Like, why do we have that, you think?
It's kind of... It's interesting. It's kind of the way the game has been built, and part of it's how it's been portrayed. If you look online, when people say about Final Fantasy XIV community, it's boasted to be one of the best and welcoming communities that's ever been around. Like, it's been the game has won awards due to its community and its dedication. But it really depends on who you ask, the length of service, and the veil behind, the thing behind the curtain. Once you draw away that curtain, then that kind of shininess fades off and you see the community for what it really is. Because yes, when I first started, the community was very welcoming, helped me out, guided me through, and stuff like that. But the longer I played and the more that I knew, it changes. It changes your view on it once you actually see it for what it is behind the curtain.
Oh, yeah. And this is actually the main topic. This is why I made this podcast. What are you trying to say right now? But we'll get to this. There's also say after the big exodus from war to FF, the community plummeted. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because I basically came in the big exodus, not right away, but about a year after that big thing happened. So what you're trying to say is, Daddy Kharsar, is because more people came in, it basically became like that, and they brought the mentality of what we had in World of Warcraft.
Yes. And it's really... Oh my god, you instantly know a Final Fantasy player from a WoW player, depending on how toxic they are. I'll be completely honest. I have had tanks tell me as a healer that I'm not doing the right thing, yet they're the one not using the mitigation. Right? And they've said, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, look, bro, you're not using your mitigation. How am I going to keep you alive if you're not stopping the damage? I've had healers tell me that I'm toxic because I pull wall to wall, and I don't need their healing to stay alive because as a warrior, I can solo heal that much that I do not need that intervention.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck you for that, by the way. I hate that.
Don't worry. It just shows how much skill I have sometimes if I'm doing my class right.
Exactly.
But you can tell who is, Final Fantasy. When you speak to them in a party, they'll say hello. They'll say, "Hope you're okay." They'll remind you to do things that you need to do to level up. Like I, for example, often remind people to eat food because they get an experience buff, and they say thank you. And then there's the WoW players that just go, shut up, do the raid, just do damage, don't talk. Why are you talking? So it really depends. You can really tell who has a WoW mentality compared to a Final Fantasy mentality, and then who are just in the middle, who are like being this split down the middle, and it's like, you're not. They either don't say anything, or they just go, or they just say the basics because that's what it is. So,
I have done RP on WoW and here as well as text-based ones. But for us community, the community here is usually a lot better, Auntie Jeannie says. I mean, things have started to change with a slight drop-off. I will not hang or heal on WoW when I'm a lot more comfortable here in Final Fantasy XIV. I will stay in this for a bit. There's still some things to discuss that you guys just posted. By the way, on my fucking chat, speak up, you freaking assholes! Like, don't let this be a single show from Daddy Kharsar and Auntie Jeannie. Like, you have mouths. You can talk about this. You can say whatever you want. We're very accepting. Yeah. We're both Final Fantasy players. We accept things.
Yeah, I am a WoW widow as well, and I've done RuneScape in my days, and I have also played. What is the Guild Wars as well? By the way.
Okay, we'll be talking about this another day about Guild Wars, but I want to go back to the community perception, because I think that's what it is. Like when you change the game that you're playing, your mentality changes, which I find, honestly, I find that very toxic. Because I cannot fade them. This is why I asked you from the start, like, are you the same person as you're online or different?
Yeah.
Basically, I understand that because of the animosity and you don't interact like face to face with another. I understand that some people might feel more comfortable, they might feel more confident and stuff like that, which is fine for me. But changing your personality completely, it's like, fuck off. Why are you doing this?
If I was in WoW, I wouldn't talk to anybody because I know I would just be snapped at for saying something. While in Final Fantasy, I'll happily say, don't forget to eat your food. And I get thanked for it.
Do you want to know a trick about this?
I don't play WoW, but...
It doesn't matter. Do you want to know the trick about this?
Why not? Enlighten the audience.
No. I will tell you the trick that I have used multiple times in World of Warcraft, and it has gotten me ways. Do you want to know the secret of it?
Okay, what's the secret?
Like, as confusing and stupid as it may sound, all you have to do is you type with proper punctuation and grammar. So if I type like with capital letters, stuff like that, like in the words, like not all caps, but just capital, people immediately are feeling more relaxed about this and they actually respond positively.
See, I've always typed with proper punctuation, and I've never had that. I've always been snapped at or yelled at.
Then it's a skill issue.
Oh, thanks. It's my skill issue. Yeah, sure.
Like I honestly, I've never had a bad. Well, I actually have a lot of bad experiences in World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy. We will get to that. But usually, when I say something or when I admit, I think this is this happens to a lot of experienced players because I have no problem saying I don't know what I did wrong. Can you please tell me? And when people hear this, they usually they have two options. Either they will continue to yell at you and they will vote to kick you, or they will explain things and see how you do. Because when you say that, when you say, I don't know what I'm doing, can you please explain to me? All eyes are on you right now. Even if someone else fucks up, it's your fault. I think because, and I'm going to hoot my own horn right now, because I think I'm a decent player. When I actually play a game, I think I'm actually decent at it. Not great, but I'm decent. I can make things happen, I can make things work, and I can learn pretty fast. I think that has saved me in a lot of bad experiences. But if a player who is not that good, because you're not required to play well, unless you're doing fucking extremes and ultimates and whatever, or mythic raids in World of Warcraft side, like all of that. If you don't do that, you don't have to be good. And I have no problem with that. I have absolutely no problem with that. Like, okay, you suck, which means I have to work a little bit harder. If we can clear it, I don't really care. I'm gonna forget about the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, there are times, even Kalina said personally, when I joined FF and experienced how the community, it felt refreshing. I left WoW players that would tell me, shut the F up and DPS, just because I wrote hello after joining a dungeon. Yeah, literally, I've had the same experience with WoW, and coming over to FF, it was nice. It was different for sure. Compared to RuneScape wasn't as bad. RuneScape normally people keep to themselves, I find personally. But that's a different kettle of fish altogether.
Yes. Actually, I just realized especially in World of Warcraft, I think my experiences are so vastly different because I chose my content. So when I was doing like proper hard dungeon, like Mythic Plus, which is harder variations of the same dungeon, like they hit harder, they have more abilities, X, and Y, whatever. I think I was the one that when something bad happens, I would be like, okay, so... also, I always use their names. I always type... I'm not saying Paladin, I'm not saying Healer, I'm not saying Tank, I'm saying...
Call them out by name.
Yes. X name. you did this wrong, you should do this. That's the solution to this puzzle that you're struggling with. Usually when I say that, people are okay with it. Like, I'm not, I hope I don't come off like too much of a dickish. But if you're doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong. That's fine. Shit happens.
Yeah. It got to a point where one of my personal situations where I was literally in a dungeon doing a 4-man content. There was a DPS that was making mistakes. That's fine. They were adjusting. They were, learning from them. And then I had a DPS that was clearly done stuff before, knew what it was doing, was happily doing what they needed to do and everything else. And then there was the tank. I was the healer. I literally told them, don't go into the middle, it's a death zone. They walked into the middle. I raised them, pulled them back to me, hoping they had learned the lesson, because they died. No, they walked straight back into the middle again and died. It got to a point where I didn't have enough mana to keep rezzing them. I just healed the DPS that was tanking, because there was no point in me dealing.
Yeah.
And if this was end game content, he should have known not to stand in the bad and mitigate. But no, he wasn't. And he's done other classes. I looked at his stat sheet. He's done DPS, he's done healer, he did some tanking here and there. So he wasn't a completely new player.
I'm gonna go back to the chat a little bit. Unfortunately,
Sorry.
it's fine. FF community was different from what it is now. Of course, it wasn't roses and sunshines even before, but WoW players joined the game and brought part of the WoW toxicity with them. Personally, when I joined FF and experienced how the community was, it felt refreshing. I left WoW that players would tell me, shut the fuck up in DPS, because I wrote hello after joining a dungeon. Now, this is very interesting to me, because while I do have these experiences in some capacity, I think I'm just lucky, at this point. I really think I'm just lucky.
You really are, because I've had plenty of experiences when I wanted to just do normal dungeons. And people have actively left in WoW because they didn't want to do the dungeon.
Yeah, I just don't do that. I just don't act dickish in the real world, in my online, because I treat this like how I would treat it in a normal day-to-day interaction. Like, I don't want to be a dick. Simple as that.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference between you and the typical experience of the WoW community.
I think you are. The hell that was heroic raid and was pig poison, for example. Now, I'm gonna go back to this. Because I think this is very interesting, because I have been a raid leader and a guild master in World of Warcraft. I have been somewhat of a guild master in Final Fantasy XIV, so I have experiences with both sides. I think my way of leading works because I am that person in real life as well. Like, I will tell you exactly what I will... for example, one of the rules I had when we were raiding and when we were progressing, when we're doing a progress mode, is like, alright, okay, everyone shut the fuck up, no one speaks while we're doing X boss. I'm the only one that's allowed to speak. And maybe you can call out something that I've missed if it's happening, if it's going to happen. I would allow that. But normal is like, shut the fuck up, I am doing it because this is right here, this is raiding, we're doing this seriously, we want to progress, so I want focus, I want razor-sharp focus. When we're doing anything else, I was the most laid-back guy you will ever meet. I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, you can call me whatever the fuck you want. Like, usually I'll be embracing and even encouraging, say bad things about myself. I don't care. Because I also do that in real life as well. Say whatever the fuck you want to me, I don't mind, I'm gonna laugh it off. Unless you call me fat and ugly and stupid. That, I draw a line there. I am uglier and fatter than this, you assholes.
See, that's another thing. When it comes to the community, in that sort of aspect for Final Fantasy, you have different tiers, I would describe it as, of raiding. So you've got what you described as, I would say, hardcore raiders. You sit down, you focus, you do the content, you do it. Then you've got the more casual raiders, something like myself. who may pick up a static here and there at a casual pace.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would do it 1 or 2 times a week. Hardcore raiders, I view, do it at least 3 to 4 at certain times.
Okay.
Every week.
I did it I had 2 raid nights. And we had 1 alt raid night as well, but that's literally optional. It's like literally alt run, you know. So I was not hardcore. I would call myself semi-hardcore, I guess. A little more than casual. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got the people like me that are more casual, who may pick it up every now and again, may clear it every now and again. And if I feel like doing it, I'll do it. And although I do have a static, it's currently on break for the main group.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and then, you know, I do that 2 nights a week at most if I were to raid. Mm-hmm. Then you've got those who just dip their toes of it every now and again. And then you've also got those who exclusively raid all the time because that's the content they do.
Exactly. Actually, I have a really funny story. I'm going to do this as story time, but I'm just going to give you a little pick at it. At some point, I had such a successful guild. We literally had 3 raid teams. It was only 10 player. We only do 10 player content. Now we can't really do it like this. But with us team 1, team 2, and team 3. Obviously, I was team 1. Like, we would say things like, oh yeah, like, it doesn't matter which team you're in. Let's face it, team 1 was the real boys. Like, the real boys and girls. Like, I was there, so, like, I'm taking the best of the best. We were doing, like, sort of a race in the raid. Team 3 was so close in beating our ass sometimes. I was like, fuck. I need to go to them. It was insane. Anyway, I'm gonna say this like in a whole story time. By the way, I know that I've said like I won't do this at like a 1 hour thing. Scrap that. Yeah. I'm having so much fun. Let's go fucking wild.
Yeah, I haven't got a bedtime, so it's all good. I was gonna say like literally the main group in the group that I'm in. The main members are called toxic members. That's literally the raid group. Toxic. The toxic raid group. And then I'm in the literal name of everything else, leftovers. I'm in the leftover static. Because again, I'm just casual. I just pick it up as and when. And if some of the main toxic members can't raid, they will then ask people to fill in, which can be I've once or twice been specifically asked, can you come and raid for this for this night? Because you are a tank and we know you know the fight. Because for this tier specifically that we've just done.
Hold on.
I've cleared it.
I'm sorry.
I've cleared some of it.
I'm sorry, but I need to go back to this. What the fuck, Michu? The first time you open your fucking mouth, all you say is, fuck Pandemonium raid?
Yeah,
what?
No thanks. Yeah, no, Pandemonium was not... I didn't do it, but I hear it wasn't fun. Particularly...
It was so fun.
Snake and Dog, I think it was. I think people are... PAS and P12S as well. They literally made a gap... it felt like... No, well, yes. I didn't raid that tier. I only have raided the last 9 to 12.
Well,
but I've only made it up to 11.
I've only done it once, and not even on Savage or even was current content, so I can't really speak. So yes, I get it. But why?
Why what?
Why do you hate it so much?
Because PF sucks balls, like literally. Like PF just sucks. You progress or you waste 2 hours of your time, and then if you kick people because they're not performing in a PF because they're wasting time, I feel shitty for it.
Fair enough. Speaking of guilds, one thing that didn't exist before the coming of WoW players were random invites in FCs, that's free companies, basically guild, without a message before. People used to send you a whisper, ask you if you're interested in joining their FC. Nowadays, if you don't have an FC, you get spammed with FC invites and not a single word from the FC leader.
Yep.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yep. I can't really say anything about this.
Yeah. Genuinely, I've had that before on one of my alts. It wasn't the solo bunny boy. No, it was the kitty I have. Canis. Well, Canis Tia.
Hold the
He
fuck
got-
on. You just said Bunny Boy. What?
Yeah, I've got a few else. I've got a solo character, bunny boy. I've got a cat. That's bunny. I think the bunny is on. Oh, I don't remember the server now, but I know Wakanis is on the Australian server. I have a female kitty on the US server, which actually just got her home back. Ding, ding, ding. I got a third house. Heck yeah.
By
And
the
I've
way,
got various alts all over the place.
by the way, can you do me a favor? Can you open your friends list and find me? Do I still have my house? I don't think I have my house.
No, you don't.
Okay, sad.
Sorry. But we can get you a house. That's easy.
Okay. I'm kind of sad now.
It's okay. Don't worry.
This is
We'll get you
a
a
bit of a
house.
history lesson. Do you know, chat, both chats, I should say, do you know when this thing that Daddy Kharsar just described, the mindless invite, when it actually started happening, even in World of Warcraft? That's more of a WoW history lesson, but it wasn't back then. Like, I will give you a hint, it wasn't back in vanilla. Well, obviously it always existed in some capacity, but it didn't exist so much in vanilla or Burning Crusade. Or any other game, I should say, as well.
I've experienced random FC invites since I started playing. And that was
Way
about
back. Way
4 or 5 years ago.
I joined WoW 2. WoW. My God. 2 weeks before. I just read WoW 2. Like, there's a World of Warcraft 2. What's happening right now? Okay. I joined World of Warcraft 2 weeks before Mist of Pandaria. And it was already a thing. Yes. Very close to when it actually started to happen. I will tell you when and how it began. It happened in Cataclysm, World of Warcraft Cataclysm, which is an expansion I personally love, but it's a different story. When guild levels were introduced. Here's the thing. There was, in every guild level that you would gain a certain perk. Some were really stupid, some were really fucking idiotic. One of the perks was 10% of what members of the guild would sell, like literally trust, they would go to the guild bank. So that meant the more players you had, the more money the guild bank could have. So what would usually happen is like someone would make a guild, they would invite a bunch of players, they would literally play the game, and the guild master would take money without doing a single thing. That's how it began. Which is sad. I know that you don't really care, but I think it was a really funny and interesting fact to say.
Fair enough.
Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Like I said, there are many examples of FF players that are being very nice in a game, inside their game, Final Fantasy XIV, but if you meet in other communities, they are completely changed people. Thoughts on that? And Nickel, for your thought.
When you say outer communities, are you thinking, for example, people within the role-playing community outside of the role-playing community, or are you thinking like
No, completely different
real life
games. Completely different games. Like I gave like example like in FF, like, oh, you're fucking awesome. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. We're playing League of Legends. Go suck a dick. Pretty much.
It kind of doesn't surprise me because the mentality of the type of game that the community has built. But again, that also comes with the point of once you peel back the veil later on in the community of the FF, then people become more themselves and like less warm, less welcoming. Not for everybody, you know, but you certainly the facade drops, and also I think sometimes it's the mentality of said game. Like, for example, my
Yes.
mentality of WoW is a very bad one. So I wouldn't, obviously, I don't play it, but I wouldn't actively interact with it, for example. There's even a major difference between Final Fantasy, the game, when you're playing it, and the forums of Final Fantasy.
Okay, please say more.
So there have been times people have stated in the forums that they want something, or they feel something is unfair, or they feel, oh, this thing is stupid, why was this ever done? While in game, people would either not talk about it or not even address it. For example,
Yes, please.
there was you may have come across the Mare shutdown. Mare, for those who
Yes.
don't know, was a third-party add-on for Final Fantasy for people to share the characters for however they look. Now, it's a bit like, yeah, Final Fantasy forums is a bit like how Twitter was, a bit of a cesspool, in the best terms. Either way, but Mare was a mod which is against Square Enix's terms of service, because in the terms of service, Square Enix state you should not use modifications to play the game. However, it's always been a long-standing, thing with Yoshi P, the creator, that says, don't speak about them, don't talk about them, and we won't do anything about them. So you see it, you don't say it, basically. Mare got to a point of such popularity that Square Enix had to step in and forcibly shut it down. And there was a huge, huge uproar from the community, from the role-playing community. Literally people by the hundreds saying, oh, I'm gonna unsub, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that. But as with the Final Fantasy community, it adapts. It overcomes. There are literally people like myself who, not that I would modify the game, but people would use other alternatives, and then their own drama split from that. But it got to a point where Square Enix had to address it, and the community was in such an uproar on the forums, but nobody cared in game. Or at least very little was cared in game, because during the week leading up to its shutdown, I saw conversations maybe once or twice about it in the main city hub, while the forums were ablaze with it, But the forums are very much where people outspeak about things that they wouldn't say in game, is what I would feel like.
Okay, so immediately when you say that, I call bull. And why do I say that? Because, again, I have this mentality, I guess you could say, that you should be honest about things no matter the situation. So if you don't like something, you should be talking about it. Simple as that. You don't hide between. And I think one of the reasons that people tend to hide it is because when I think please correct me if I'm wrong. In forums, you don't appear as your character, or is that wrong?
No, in the forums you can still sign up as your character. See, but I think people feel like they've got a more freedom with how they say things, because especially within the physical aspect of the game.
Oh, in forums you appear as your character. Okay, got it. Sorry, I'm wrong then.
You appear as your character, but in game, if you were to say something, oh, you're a meanie, blah 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 blah, you could get reported for that, and a GM can come and visit you. It has happened where people have been reported and GMs have taken action in game. But on the forum, yes, you are signed up as your character, but people I've seen use more colourful language, and I don't see the repercussions of it. If there is any, it's not widely known. Else people would report that stuff by the dozen.
Okay, so this is a question to everybody in the chat, please. We just heard Daddy Kharsar say that people don't act the way they want to act because there are repercussions if you do it in game instead of doing it like in a different place. Do you agree? Now, this is also a question to you, Daddy Kharsar. Do you agree with that mentality? I would say, like that thing. Oh, like I'm gonna get banned if I do this. I'm gonna have a bad thing happen to me, so I'm not gonna do it here. But here, where I'm able to, I will do it.
I'm not that type of person that would do that, but it wouldn't surprise me if people did.
Yeah, well, obviously, people are dicks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. You know, it really depends on the type of person. I personally wouldn't do it because, A, I hate conflict. I just like hearing about it. I won't participate in it if I can help it. And it's one of those things of... I think it happens, and I just don't really see it, I'll be honest.
Okay. You don't even need to go to modding territory. When Square Enix introduced the ability to glamour any gear to any class, FF forums were filled with people screaming how the game is ruined and how they would unsub. In game, instead, people were thrilled. Okay. I love that we're slowly approaching this main topic I talked to you about without even me saying anything about it.
Yeah.
I love it, by the way. I love how this thing works. There are those out there here, honestly, compared to other places, I have less drama here, but then I know how to stay out of it. That's also true. I think you need the threat of a ban to behave. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and work on your personality. Wait, is that direct towards me? You don't kill me. You need to look yourself in the mirror. Work on your personality, son.
No.
Suck,
people
son.
People in general. Yeah,
I know. Obviously, I'm just joking.
Haha. Not you generally. Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it definitely screams one of those. You have nothing better to do for your day. Go touch some grass. Get away from the computer. You're chronically online.
Before we move on to the main thing, I would like you to tell me, because I could not describe them to you if I could. Yeah. What are the unwritten rules of the community in Final Fantasy XIV? What are the main things that people know and say and do without them actually being in the rule set of Final Fantasy XIV, for example?
Number 1, mods. Don't speak about them in game. Don't talk about them. End of story. You can use them, not legally, technically, but you don't speak about them, you don't talk about them in game, you will get banned. Number 2, don't be a dick to Sprout. Sprouts don't know any better. Be kind. You know, one of those things. If another aspect of our unwritten rule is try not to join a party past your prog point. We saw this very clearly with the recent raid tier, M10S, the Savage, which is the harder difficulty. It's
which one is that?
It's with the Beach Brothers.
I love that.
They have other names. I won't repeat them, but they are the Beach Brothers, and there is a particular segment or difficulty called Arena Split, where, as the name suggests, the arena is split down the middle, and you have to do your mechanics for your party. Yeah. Chat can state what their names are. I can't stop them if they want to state the other name for these brothers. And it got to a point where The arena split
Wait,
prog.
what are the names of the brothers? I'm confused right now. What is
No,
happening?
we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the arena split
Okay.
for Beach Boys. So it got to a point when me and Killian were progging where we advertised for arena split party, but members of said party were making mistakes on the very first mechanic. We're making mistakes of dying to stupid things. We're making mistakes of easier mechanics. And we were like, look, guys, you're not at this prog point. Why are you here? Because they expected somebody to carry them to that prog point. And the same issue with Vamp Fatale, the first one. We got to a point where, look, yes, that is their other nickname, okay?
Yep, okay,
That's why
yep.
I didn't say it.
Yep.
So...
Okay. My bad.
And it got to a point when we advertised for parties, we couldn't get to our prog point, which we had seen multiple times because people joined expecting us to carry to that prog point, and we wanted to obviously get past it. It's our progression point, so we actively had to join parties past our prog point in order to get to our prog point and progress. Now, it is an unwritten rule to not join parties like that, but it gets to a point where you have to consider, look, I'm wasting my time doing it this way. I have to go further in order to do it. Yes, that is also another thing as well. Femme Fatale, there's a section very near to the end of the fight where, again, you split off into two different parties. It's called Hell in a Cell, and a few mechanics after that. The main one I would particularly describe as Hell in a Cell. We would advertise a Hell in a Cell prog point. We would get to that point, and nobody would have an idea what to do because they hadn't looked it up. They didn't know what to do. And then there's a second mechanic soon after that where you split into two parties, and she does switching of like pizza slices where the best way to describe it is like from her, where she is in the middle, a pizza slice will go out in certain directions, and you would have to follow whichever bat you were tied to in order not to die or get damage down. And people could not do it. They could not simply follow the changing of the pie slices. And they just kept dying and wiping and wiping. So an unwritten rule is don't join a party where you're not past your prog point. Or another thing is don't join a farming party if you're looking to clear.
Yeah, okay.
If you're looking for a clear, unless you specify, look, I've seen him rage, I want to get my clear and then I want to farm. That is fine, but specify it for the love of God, please, because we don't want to drag your sorry carcass around for the next hour failing to get the clear when we're supposed to be farming for, say, a mount or a minion or music, etc. Another kind of unwritten rule I would describe of Final Fantasy is more within the roleplay community.
Yes.
There is a certain level of aspect of what people do. For example, in the clubbing aspect, you have people who are security members, bartenders, dancers and DJs. Typically, those kind of rules of like no, don't go where the DJ is because that is for them to be able to get the best point of view for their stream to play the music. Don't go into areas that staff are standing by because they are used for roleplay purposes and they are there to guard the door, and management will know if you go behind that door. They have their ways of telling each other if somebody is being an idiot running around. So again, another thing with venues within Final Fantasy, there's a rule of RP walking. You walk around. Don't just fully sprint anywhere and everywhere where you go. It's again common courtesy in aspects.
I got into trouble for that when I first joined a club. Because I didn't know, right? I didn't know that you're supposed to do that. So I was like, okay. Actually, I remember the first time I went into a club, which I was amazed, by the way. I saw a post. I think I was in town. I think it was in Ulda, and I saw a post like, "We're doing this thing on X place, whatever. Please come join us." Blah blah blah. Can I tell you what the fuck is happening there? I've never seen that. Because how I usually work in an MMO is like, okay, so I need to do my quests, I need to do this, this, and that, and then I need to do dungeon. That's how I do it. I don't usually stay in cities. I don't. I like to explore. Like when I'm playing a game. If I'm in a city, I'm in to do something specific, and I get out. So when I saw that, I was like, what is that? So I went in, and I went full sprint mode inside. I remember that. Basically, it said, please don't run. And I was like, oh, okay, why? Like, I was generally asking, and they were kind enough to, because obviously they saw I'm a sprout, I'm level like 20 something. Obviously, I don't know that. So they explained to me kindly, please, we do this now. This is a clubbing scene, blah 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 blah. I was like, okay. My next question was, what's the button?
Which is fine. The thing is, with the community, it's one of those things. We're more than happy to explain things if you just ask.
Yeah, fucking ask.
Killian, this has been an age-old issue in FF. Back in the day when Eureka was current content, it took me 1 month of daily attempts to clear Bordessian Arsenal, only because one of the leaders would bring one of their friends that didn't know what to do, and in the end would end up wiping the whole raid and forcing everyone back to level up their character. In Eureka, if you die in release, instead of getting raised, you lose experience. So you lose your level. So a wipe in Bardessian Arsenal meant an automatic loss of a level. That's still true today. People run specific groups on Discord to get those clear kinds of content. But yeah, it's Bardessian Arsenal is a very particular kind of raid, though. You have to go into content to then get to that content, and it takes hours. I've done it myself, where I've grinded up the levels to get to the point to do Bordessian Arsenal, and it got to a point when I reached the end, I was literally shaking like a leaf because I did not want to wipe, because if I died in BA, I would not get my clear. And the people are lovely within that that group of content and stuff like that. But to think about how it could be back in the day when it wasn't so organized, today's scene is nothing like what Killian would have seen in his day and age. Yeah, nowadays you just cheese it, but again, it still runs the risk of, if you die, you probably would not get that clear.
Okay.
For BA.
So I kind of get it. Like that, what you just described though, was more of the raiding scene.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I completely endorse that.
Sorry, it's just there's a lot more unspoken rules, which is easier to describe.
Absolutely. But what I wanted to come by is because you actually described basically how raiding works. I think we're not going to make this too big of a deal. I'm just going to say it, and we're going to move on past this because this is not the topic. We're going to be talking about this another time, another podcast. But I value, I think, let's say that combat in World of Warcraft is vastly superior than Final Fantasy. First of all, they're completely different. It's not which is better and which is wrong, which is less whatever. It's more of the fact that I prefer the combat style of World of Warcraft because it's faster, more fast-paced. It's not like you don't have to do a coordinated dance all the time, because Final Fantasy combat is basically, let's solve the puzzle of it is the boss fight. When World of Warcraft is more like, we do this, it's chaotic, deal with it. Which I prefer. As a player, I prefer that.
Yeah, I would,
However, I also really enjoy the type of gameplay, because I remember when I was doing extremes, like in I don't remember the name. Not extremes. What are the things that in Chloe, the things that you do every so often, like the seasonal thing?
Trials?
Unreal, I think it was called.
Unreal. Yes, there's like a very special one, Unreal, which is harder than normal content. I think
Yes.
it's harder than Extremes, but easier than Savage, I think is how it's
Yes,
described.
exactly. So when I
Yeah.
was doing a specific Unreal, I was having so much fun in that.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun. So I kind of understand the beauty of FF writing and doing that. Also, we're doing that
Mm-hmm.
extreme because we did clear one extreme together, and which I'm really
Yes.
proud of, by the way.
Which one did we do? Was it?
The
No, it wasn't Choo Choo. Was it Choo Choo? I don't think it was Choo Choo.
it it was the first one that you made in Dawn Trail. I don't remember the name.
Oh, Valley. It would have been Valley Garmanda, the like
Valigarmanda,
salamander.
yes,
Yes.
Valigarmanda, indeed.
Yes.
So I'm really proud of that
Choo Choo.
because you had to learn a specific dance. You had to learn how to
Yeah.
do this, and that. I love that, right? I am very into that.
Mm-hmm.
Completely
Mm-hmm.
different aspect. So what I'm
What we
trying
did also
to
do, yeah.
what I'm trying to get back to is, would you, as a player, if you
Mm-hmm.
were to join a specific type of player mentality. Let's say,
Yeah.
because I plan to do that at some point. Like, I
Mm.
need to do that. This is one of my goals as, I don't want to say as a streamer, but as a person. But like, let's say a streamer. Fuck it. Let's say a streamer. I want to create communities within communities. For example, I want to create a World of Warcraft guild. I want to create a Final
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy free company that do the
Mm-hmm.
things that I love and create a more social that's based
Mm.
around the stream, yes, but I also want it to be based around itself. So, would you as a person say, okay, Alex is doing a World of Warcraft raid every Thursday, whatever, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to join a set group of players that I have chosen or someone that I trust have chosen, that you know that we're just here to have fun, it's just a fucking game. If we want to progress, it's a serious one. If we want to have it more
Mm-hmm.
casual, we say that
Yeah.
beforehand. Would you be interested in enjoying that kind of social thing, even if it's a game that you don't normally would join in?
It would genuinely really depend because there's a lot of things, there's a lot of things I would like to do and there's a lot of things I can do, and there's a big difference between the two. If you were to, for example, if you wanted to do an ultimate raid, I would say probably not right now. However, if you were wanting to do a choo-choo farm, for example, I would say I would more likely consider it. It would really personally depend on the content, the date, and the time.
No, I'm more saying that would you try a different game other than Final Fantasy? Because you said like I am not going near World of Warcraft at all. Like this is not my thing. I'm not gonna do that. And also,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about gameplay wise. Like I'm not saying that you have to like the game. Like let's say that you like that you can play, that you can have fun while playing it. Because the main, I think, deterrent for people, like for example, Auntie Jeannie actually did say that beforehand. Like she prefers to play with you because even if she does a mistake, it's not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
It's how things work.
Yeah.
If we had that type of mentality, if that have that kind of atmosphere in a
Yeah.
setting, would you consider doing that, or would you say no? Because if I leave that, which won't normally happen because we would usually do things together, if I leave that, it's gonna be the same toxic shit. I'm not dealing with that.
No, I think no, because the community that you want to have and the community that you want to try and build makes all the difference. I would be far more willing to join somebody in your, like a group in your community, for example, than say a community that I don't even know of.
Yeah, obviously, I'm saying that you can't.
Yeah.
Like, let's say everything goes well, and I'm able to stream more and play more games. God, please let me do that. For the love of God, let mom get healthy so I can do that, please. Anyway, let's say that I make a World of Warcraft guild. I make it so that it's a successful one. It has people in, and we have, because obviously I'm gonna be very strict when it comes to how things should be. Like when I set a rule, I expect that rule to be followed, and my main rule is don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's my only rule.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Would you, Kharsar, say, okay, I can roll a character in World of Warcraft, I can join that guild, and I can play together. Would you be willing to go through that aspect of thing? Like, generally asking because I'm actually planning to do that, so I'm looking for people that want to do that as an experiment as well.
For WoW, no. I don't get along with WoW.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. Have a nice day.
However, say if you did something like RuneScape, I'd be like, okay, I consider it. Final Fantasy, again, I would consider
Obviously.
it. Guild Wars 2, might consider it as well, but I just do not. I'm sorry, I do not like WoW, and that's why I put my foot down.
Okay.
As your dad.
We're gonna be talking about this in a different podcast because I think it's a very interesting how WoW and FF work so brilliant. Like, they're so great if you look at certain aspects. They're so bad at others.
Yeah.
But we'll stop for another time. However, I want now to reach finally the main topic. Honestly, guys, this is the reason I want to do this podcast. I've been talking about this for fucking years now, especially with you, Daddy Khar. I've been saying this to you for some time. So, and this is the whole reason I'm doing this specific podcast today. Fake positivity in Final Fantasy XIV. There I said it. I'm gonna get banned, I know. Yoshi P's gonna come like, oh!
The community is coming after you, right?
It's a thing. Honestly, if anyone comes to me and says it's not happening, I am gonna take a big fucking wallop thing and bust them into the fucking
I would just laugh
head.
at them. I would laugh and go, you've been very privileged to not see that side.
Because this is the fun part. This is the really funny part for me. We're hinting about it all the time. Like, we were saying things, I was saying things. It was always there. You said, if you pick around the veil, for example, and you have to do this and that. Fake positivity, which again, it comes back to the community perception of what we should do or act.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't agree with people that have it. This is why I always try to be the same person, because that's who I am. I don't change. Like, okay, if I ever decide to properly roleplay, again, on the journey, I'm trying to do better. I'm gonna do that at some point. I am going to try and do that, but again, as a person, I will not treat you differently.
Yeah.
In any sort of content, which is both good and bad, because I will treat you the same, even if you're bad, even if you're good. If you do something bad, I'm gonna bash you for it. I don't care if you're new. I don't care about that. But mostly if you're a dick. That's pretty much it. So, fake positivity.
Yeah.
When you see a sprout, you're all cuddly. Oh my god, he's so cute. He's the best thing ever. Oh my god, enjoy this, enjoy that. The second you lose that sprout, everybody's like, fuck you. And I've lived that. I felt that. So when I lost my sprout, people were so much more less welcoming.
It's because of what it takes to lose the sprout icon. There are minimum requirements to lose the sprout icon. And there comes a certain expectation when you do lose your sprout icon that you should have a fair knowledge about the game. For now, I will have a look at precisely what the time is, but at the very minimum, I know that it is required that you must complete all the way up, including post patches, all the way up till Dawn Trail right now.
Once you reach the current expansion level, that's correct. This is why I've been a sprout for months, maybe close to a year, by the way. This is why it hits so hard. Yeah.
You must complete obviously up until the current expansion, as well as clock over 300 hours in game in order to lose your sprout icon.
That's not true. At least I did a work for me. I was a Sprout with many more hours than that.
No, you must do a minimum of 300 hours to lose your Sprout icon. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. I misunderstood. But that's the thing. I'm not talking about gameplay-wise. Like, you should know how to play the game. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when I would go, like, whenever I would go into a dungeon. This is something I do in World of Warcraft as well. I usually go, hello, nice to meet you. Good luck, have fun, whatever. I usually say that. When I was a Sprout, people would respond, hello, hi, how are you? You know, stuff like that. When I lost that Sprout, more than one, that didn't happen every single time, obviously. Like, there were exceptions to this. Many exceptions, but there was still happening. When I would say, hello, no response.
Yeah.
And I find that extremely bullshit when it comes from players in Final Fantasy XIV that say, we are the most welcoming people in the world, we love everyone, and roses and sunshine and bunnies. The moment you're on a Sprout, you say, I don't care about you. Fuck you. Fuck you in the ass.
No, thing is, it's not necessarily always that way. Like, I understand where you're coming from. People become less friendly. There's less of that expectation. But again, it comes with the expectation. You should know things by now. You should know what to do.
I am not talking about that aspect. I'm not talking about if I perform poorly. If I perform poorly, yes, call me out on it.
The thing is, if I were to, for example, type... I have a macro that literally states, good day, don't forget to eat... for the extra experience. Now, it does, you know, it takes me nothing just to click a button to say that, right? But rather than, and often all I get is hello or hi. And I do, I used to do, haven't done so recently because I took a bit of a break, to be fair. Baldur's Gate kind of raptured my attention, and Cash Cleaner. But still, when I used to do daily dungeons, I have been often greeted either with a hi or a hello at minimum, and then sometimes I even say, oh, thank you, I forgot, or stuff like that. Like, it's not necessary. I don't always get silence. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But it's water off a duck's back. I don't think anything of it. Because, again, I have a macro that says stuff for me, you know? And, yeah, if often we say hello, we get greeted back. But I don't know if... It might be a weird coincidence. It might not be. You often say it as a DPS, correct?
Yes.
I then speak as a tank or healer, typically. And I don't usually do roulettes as a DPS. But if I do find that if I play a DPS, I get less feedback than a tank or a healer. It could just be weird coincidence.
No, it's not. It's actually, again, community perception. If you're a tank or if you're a healer, you know what to do. You are the god amongst men. You do a role that people don't normally want to touch.
You have more of a responsibility.
Yes. Which is completely unfair because there's a reason why there are different roles. I love tanking. I also like healing in Final Fantasy aspect. You know, like in that world, I love it because, like, ooh, I can DPS. Let's fucking go. I am dying. I don't care. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I am, as a healer, you are a god amongst men. I choose who to die and who gets to live.
Basically, yeah. But a DPS is absolutely necessary because a good DPS will do things that will make the party so much easier. Like, for example, a magic pattern that most DPS never fucking use in Final Fantasy is you usually have a button that will make the enemy hit a bit less hard. Fucking use it!
You mean feint?
I mean
or addle?
Yes.
Depending
I don't know
if
the
you're
name. I don't know the name.
physically. No,
Yeah.
it's faint is for physical and adults for magical users. But one thing I would say is in the great wise world, in the great wise words of Joe Cat, as a party member, you are the most important in the party because you are the most important part in the party as a tank because you're making the boss slaps hurt less and thus taking all the damage for the whole party. You're the most important in the party as a healer because you get to choose who dies and who lives. DPS is the most important person in the party because you make the game take make less time if you do your maximum DPS.
Not even maximum. If you do good DPS, like, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't feel as monotonous as sometimes it does feel.
Yep.
Yeah, Feint and Adol, mysterious forces, which are wholly 100% required in ultimate raids. If they do not do it, the party will die at certain points, depending on the mitigation and everything else, but still. But I cannot recommend Joe Cat enough for some of the video guides he's produced.
This actual guy. I thought you were talking about Joker, like, in the DC universe. Like, did Joker say that?
No, Joe Cat.
Oh, Joe Cat. Actually, I love that. I love that dude.
So funny. I need to watch his latest quiz. It's so funny. I want to watch it. I want to watch it with Killian. So
always be casting.
ABCs, yeah, ABC. And also, who's doing more damage? The person not doing a range attack, or the person doing a range attack while there's a big ass puddle in the middle?
So
yes, we do.
If you take just combat related, like dungeons and raids and stuff like that, I would tell you that because I do have a vast experience, and honestly, as a raid leader, I've been a raid leader before. I've been a proper raid leader, not just like the guy that I say I'm a raid leader and I just assign that when we raid. I was actually the raid leader. I had to get good to a certain point. I feel like in both games, I was able to do my job effectively, and I can learn pretty fast because of my experience. So I never had an issue, and I think that you should know about it because I was struggling a little bit. What was the name again? Vigarmanda. What's the name again? I forgot. Valigarmanda. I was struggling a bit at Valigarmanda. When I was starting to get the hang of it, I was like, okay, it's in, let's go. I was locked in. So I think that my experience as a player helps me quite a bit because I know what I'm supposed to do. I know my class, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I know that I don't know everything, so I can learn. I'm not afraid to ask. This is so important. This is so goddamn important. Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you get kicked. You find another group. It's fine. It's not the end of the fucking world.
Then there's me who asks dumb questions as I'm the tank. I as a tank, have made mistakes that has caused party wipes because I stood one of my last raiding sessions that I did recently. I was the off tank. And there was a tank buster, so obviously the thing that hits the hardest. There was a shared tank buster and a split tank buster. And I was so focused on what the next mechanic was that everybody grouped up to me because that's where they're supposed to be. And I stood in the wrong spot and everyone went splat. And I'm like, what did I do? And they're like, tank buster, this mechanic. And I went, oh, right, okay, my bad.
So that's another thing, because we did talk about, like, you're expected to know the game if you're not as proud anymore. However, here's the thing. You are a person. You make mistakes.
Yes.
I find that if you do a mistake as a sprout, people will just, like, it's fine, it's just a sprout. if you do the same mistake or a similar mistake, let's not say the same. Oh, actually no. If you say the same mistake as a non-sprite, because like, oh, okay, I fucked up because I was a split second. Like a great example, which is a very good indicator of how good you are, is literally in Realm Reborn, raid, which is, what was the name? It's an alliance raid, the first raid, the one that you have to go outside of the bubble because it's gonna be a big boom. You know it. Come on, you know it.
So it's the thingy of the ancients. Sit there, shoot.
I don't remember what that was. Anyway, basically the mechanic is the boss is casting something. You have to go to a specific coordinated spot that you know beforehand. If you're in A team, you go left. If you go B, you stay in the middle. And in C, you go on the top right, outside of the bubble. So you have to. The boss in the middle. You have to get to the side of the room. That's pretty simple. So many people will either go too early and they will stand there like the boss like this, like, hello, yeah, okay, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Or they will stay in too much and they will die from the bubble. Like if they don't move at all, you know that they've never seen that happen before. They absolutely never seen that.
And usually a healer will go yoink, try and pull them, but because of how no, actually, it got to a point where some people were pulling the newbies to back off, but because of server ticks, as they pull them, their body dies, so they just drag a dead body to the outside. It's the most hilarious thing. But there is also a great expectation of the community for that specific fight, that it should get to a point where you should greed before the second burst, because it is easily killable now due to how the gear outranks the content.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh god, why didn't we do it? Hands up in the air. Like, we should have been able to greed that sort of thing. And then people like myself chicken out in the last second.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that fight with a big dude. So there's also the players that will know exactly, I have this much time. Okay, I don't have any more time. I can go back. And the moment the eruption happens, they're already out. Nothing happens. And then they go back inside and they kill the boss, which is fine. So what I was trying to say about this is, if you make a mistake there, people will judge you so harshly.
People will squint a little harder, like,
Exactly, which I find, like, if it happens once, you just laugh it off.
Yeah.
It's like, look at, like, for example, I've seen a Savage tier raider actually do that mistake. I actually know a couple of Savage raid tiers, and they did a mistake while we were in a party, and we're just laughing my ass off.
Yeah, that's the thing. The harder content you do, the stupider the mistakes you make.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and it's always funny, because usually when I'm doing casual content, I see people with these ultimate names, and then I see them die because of an AoE, and I go,
exactly.
You know, because it's just one of those things. But that is a meme within the community in and of itself. If you've got an ultimate raider, you're more than likely to make the most stupidest mistakes, because that's just how it is. Because you've done the hardest content, because everything else then seems trivial by comparison.
So that's the healthy aspect of what we're talking about. The unhealthy is, I'm bringing it back to fake positivity. So the same mistake that you can do will have completely different attitudes regarding of who you are. It might be an honest mistake because, again, we're not machines, we're just people. Sometimes we make mistakes. You will treat it so hard. You should know about this. Like, yes, you're right, I'm sorry, I just made a mistake. And people will still, like, I've seen this happen. Like, people will still butcher you about it. And if we go to another type of thing, for example, let's go clubbing. Right, you know the club scene way too much. I was treated so much differently as a sprout when I was entering the club, and I should not have been because I had already been in those clubs for so many times, but I still had the sprout, right? I didn't want to get rid of it, even when I was inside there, because I don't really care about it. Like, I was so used to it, I didn't even see it, honestly. But I was basically being soured with praise and kindness and love as a sprout, which I did not change how I acted, how I was, you know, when I was joining a club. Usually when I went to club, I would go to a blackjack table. Let's be fucking real here. So that was my main, basically. So I would go in and say, hello everyone, how are you? Let's play, blah, blah. And the dealer, the people that was so nice to me, like sometimes they would offer like, let me pay for you. It's like, you don't need to. It's fine, shit happens. Actually, I have a really funny story to tell you about this. Hold this thought. And when I was no longer a sprout, I would join the same tables, literally the same fucking tables, because back then I would go religiously into clubs, specific clubs for blackjack. I knew the dealers, I knew everyone, so I would go there and I would do the same thing again. Hello, how are you? How are you this fine evening? They were like, okay, fine. Which were the same people that I've met a week ago that was no longer a sprout. This did happen. And
thing is though,
yes, go on, please.
He at that point probably would have known your name, because when I was a blackjack dealer, I would know my regulars. I would know who would bet big.
No, the regulars, like the regulars and the people that actually got to know me a little better than a person staying at the same table, they were absolutely, comforting, like, hello, blah, blah, all that. Like, we knew each other. I'm talking about all the others. And here's an experiment I did. I created a character that was basically null, basically. And I did play a little bit. I was like 30, 40. So it was at the level where I could know that, I could discover that, there's clubs, which happened in my real account, in my main account as well. So what I did is, like, I went to a club, played a little bit, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to experiment. I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back as a sprout. I was wearing the paladin armor, not even the paladin armor, like the leveling.
The basic stuff.
Yeah, the very basics. It was hideous, it didn't look good. I would go in, I would have my helmet in, like literally a helmet. I would go in like all happy, and they would tell me, hide your weapon. I was like, okay, how do I do that? Which, funny story, in my main account, I didn't know how to do that as well, but that's a different story. So I would go in, and immediately, they would treat me so much differently. In the same table.
Yes, because people don't know you. And it's literally because the thing is, it's not really fake positivity. It's just more of how the community works. It's the cogs in the wheel. They want people to stay. They want people to build a community, I feel. And the best way to be that is to be friendly and welcoming. You're not going to want to stay if you have toxic POSs all the time.
So what you're saying is stay friendly to the new person, and once they're part of us, like, fuck off, we don't really care.
No, it's not one of those F off, I don't really care. It's just a expectation of, you should know how to play the game, that's fine. If you don't know how to play, still just ask. Because that's what I find with people who lose their sprout icon. They don't ask questions anymore. They lose that sense of, I don't feel like I can ask as well sometimes.
That's actually
sometimes, because as a sprout, you get treated so, like, not like in a pane glass or in bubble wrap, but you are given a certain bit of leniency because you don't know. But what pisses people off more is when people don't ask questions and make the same mistake. One mistake is fine, 2 mistakes, you're like, okay, is everything okay? Because this is usually what I do, or how I found stuff. I see you going, but honestly, 1 mistake is fine. Okay, not a problem. We'll brush it off. The second mistake, I'm like, okay, is everything okay? Do you need a bit of help, etc., etc.? And I often get a no answer. And then by the third mistake, if they're not a sprout, I go, okay, what the hell are you playing at? because I asked you if everything is okay. You said yes, everything is fine. And then why are you still making the same mistake?
But again, you go into a combat situation. I'm talking about the social interaction because trust me.
Even with social, I am exactly the same with social.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to tell you though, is that in the same table, I went with two different accounts. In the first one, I used the exact words I used in the other, and in the Sprout, I was being treated, "Hello, welcome in. How are you?" And in my main account, I was like, "Hi." That's it. That's what I'm worried about. Like, it's the fake positivity. It's like, oh, we need to be welcoming to Sprouts because they're new, blah, blah, blah. And once you're not a Sprout, we don't really care anymore. You're already part of this community. We know that you are part of this community, so we don't have to be stay good at you. That's what I'm worried about. This is why, coming back full circle, is why I ask you in the first, like, do you change as a person when you play this game, when in real life? Because I think that's the main issue today, is people are way too focused on how they should be in real life.
Yeah.
That when they're beside a screen and they're being anonymous, they have the ability to be someone else. They always choose to be not a kind person. And I firmly believe that.
Thing is, I would say, as I've grown up the last couple of years due to bits and pieces, my patience for people are probably because of part of my job. I'll be completely honest.
Yes.
My patience for people have dropped way down. Another thing is my patience for certain type of people as a mentor in Final Fantasy XIV has also dropped.
Yes.
Because as a mentor, I often say, sometimes I get dragged into ARR extremes, and I politely say, look, guys, for those who have queued for this, it is unusual for people to queue for this kind of content. Most people use Party Finder, and that's what I recommend going forward because it's easier for you to get a group. And I've been told off by Sprouts stating, well, I want to do it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. I've had nasty Sprouts at me because I recommended doing things in quotation, normal way. It works both ways.
So here is exactly, absolutely agree with that. Here's what I would say, whether I'm a Sprout or whether I'm an experienced player. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Thank you. End of conversation. Yeah. End of fucking conversation. We don't have to spend time talking about this. It's not important enough.
Exactly. And that's all he had to say. He said, thanks for the info. I don't really care. That's it. I was like, okay, no problem. Just explaining.
Yeah, even that. It's fine.
Yeah. But it's very much rarer to have a mean Sprout compared to a mean either mentor or regular player. I still feel that with a lot of WoW players, I feel now returning to WoW due to how WoW is going. But obviously there's that little hiccup with the no longer accepting third-party stuff like Square Enix does, but still. I have found that the toxicity personally has dropped a lot, but people aren't as social in general content, put it that way, because the toxicity has left its mark on the community.
Let's heal it. I'm not even kidding. Let's kill it. Let's do it.
I would love to. It just takes one message at a time, and it's quite surprising actually. As a mentor, I've always, I've used my macro of don't forget to eat food, and I've seen it multiple times now where people have gone, "Oh, that's you." I do that too now. Literally, as we both enter in the dungeon, we get a similar message of don't forget to eat food. And it's just happened that has spread a little bit. and it's great. It's nice. It's a little bit. It's those little interactions, and the one thing I do like to do, in when I'm trying to spread positivity or just trying to strike up a chat, there is two particular dungeons. Well, no, one particular dungeon that has exactly in English cutscenes 16 minutes and 32 seconds of cutscenes. Yes, I have done my research.
I'm out. I'm out. We're not talking about that. We're not. I'm leaving.
No. Listen. Right. So that particular dungeon is called Praetorium. It's a dreaded dungeon because it's known as Welcome to Dungeon, the movie. Welcome. But what I do is I like to say, as we enter in, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome aboard the Kharsar, Kharsar Express, and I'll, or something like that. Don't forget to eat when we get in, and stuff, and that stuff. Then during the very first cutscene that you get, I think it's like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, I go, do you know what the longest cutscene in the dungeon is? And actually do like a little trivia game.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
Do you know
try
the
to
answer?
make the best of it.
Yeah, trying to make a best of a shitty situation, because 16 minutes and 32 seconds of cutscenes is just god awful. By the way, Japanese is the quickest, it has the shortest runtime, and then French and German come after that, and then English is the longest.
You've been doing term wrong all your life.
No. Right. As part of my mental roulette, I've jotted down, let's see, how many mental roulettes have I recorded? I've recorded 388 instances, right?
Okay.
And of
That's
those 300, yeah, it's not my 2,000 goal that I need to get to, but still. Out of those 388 dungeons, 15 of them have been Praetorium.
That's 14 way too many.
Yes, you're telling me. God awful. And if I actually calculate, if I do 16...
By the way, I love what Daddy Kharsar just said. As someone that plays a game with Japanese cutscene, I always have to wait patiently for others to enter cutscene. And I just imagine Daddy Kharsar being like...
Yeah. That's a minimum. In dungeon cutscenes of Praetorium, of my 15 runs, that's a minimum of 4 hours I've just sat there waiting for Praetorium to end in my mental roulette so far, and it is the most popular dungeon I have gotten in my roulettes.
Okay, so bringing back fake positivity, this person right here talking has tried to make me run this fucking dungeon. Let's do this roulette today. When you know that there's a very high chance we're gonna spend 16 hours and 16 minutes and 32 seconds in that shit, and I always say no. It's like, no, but let's do it. Come on, let's do it. It's content. Let's have to do it. Fuck you. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, but that is after the changes that they made. Like beforehand, it was like an hour long, and it was an 8-man dungeon.
I don't care. Still not doing it.
Hey, it gives the most amount of currency, so goddamn, I will run it if I have the time to.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Suffer with me.
Absolutely not. Like, I hate... Like, here's the main... I'm not gonna go too deep into this because I would really love to do another podcast with you about this.
Yes, please.
How grindy Final Fantasy XIV really is, to do anything. Like, all the things. And you are a goddamn... like, I don't know why it's not working anymore, but I had, like, custom notes when you come onto my stream. I don't know why it stopped. I need to bring it back. Like, you were an achievement hunter. Like, I would say I was an achievement hunter until I met you.
Yeah.
Like, I stopped calling myself an achievement hunter. Like, fuck that, no. I ain't even close to her level. I ain't even close to Daddy Kharsar's level.
I need to pick it back up. I'm way overcapped, I think, in my, give me 1 second, in my, I check my journal. Yeah, I'm capped on my, level allowances, which is terrible for me. I'm wasting time and money for my achievements, but, That's a story for another day. My achievement grind, I suppose.
Yes. So
I am inspired by Killian by that, though. I do want to say he majorly inspired me to do that.
I don't know what's worse. So now that we are about 2 hours in the podcast, when by the way, this is for, let's cut behind the veil, guys. I did talk to Daddy Khar beforehand while we're setting things up, and I did tell him that, okay, so I want to do this like an hour. Like, I don't want to go further than that. Ideal, it's an hour, you know? And like half an hour in, I was like, yeah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, no. The thing is, we have such... we bounce each other. We bounce off each other, and it's a great conversation to be had.
Yes.
I mean, you can cut it down if you wanted to, or break it into parts, but it gets to a point where we have difference of opinions at the end of the day.
Yes, vastly, and I love it. And the most important thing, we have different opinions. We don't argue about it. We discuss about it like fucking rational people. I say, okay,
like we don't
this is you,
scream
this is
and
me.
yell. And,
Magic, sorcery,
magic. I know, right? How dare we be actually, conversational and not just yelling our views from the top of our, voices.
By the way, this is actually a really funny thing because my reaction to things I don't like. For example, let's say you did say World of Warcraft is now not using add-ons, right? You did say that. My reaction to that, so. It's actually true. It's actually true. So my reaction when I played the game with no add-ons, my reaction was I don't like this anymore. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel good because they haven't really fixed the game to the way that it should be, that I can play it without add-ons. So what did I do? I stopped playing. I didn't go like and go to the forums like a forum champion and fight the evil as Blizzard. Like it's not me. Thank you. Have a great day. End. Imagine that, exposing each other's opinion without insulting anyone. Yes, that's fucking unreal.
The communities are so different in that aspect. If the community does not like something in Final Fantasy, they will scream and yell at it in the forums at the loudest voice.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. And it's so unhinged over there. I'm like, I'll look at that crowd and go, you do you, boo. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. I'll sit and watch the drama unfold with my cup of tea in the corner. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm gonna end this podcast as a video because it's gonna go up on YouTube. So we're gonna end it here. Okay. Stay in the call because we're gonna be talking a little bit more about something else. But this is end for the YouTube. Say hi to YouTube, everyone.
Hi YouTube. I hope you've had fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I don't do that actually on YouTube. I actually don't say subscribe. I actually don't say subscribe. Like I don't do that anymore.
Like the video, like it, or whatever. If you want to hear my annoying voice again.
Yes. So I would like to thank you for being the host of today's podcast, which was a very interesting one, from my opinion.
Yes. Indeed.
Thank you so much, Daddy Khar, and good night to everyone, or good evening, or good morning, whatever it is on your fucking time right now. Bye!
Bye, YouTube.
Okay, now we're done with that. We're gonna be talking a little bit more about something.
Okay.
Thank you, host. Yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel like? Honestly, tell me. How did you? What do you think of what we just did?
Basically, it was nice. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, it's definitely there's a lot more to the conversation to be had, particularly about experiences and how I feel and other bits and pieces. But I enjoyed it for the most part. It's always nice to get actually sit down and think about things because I don't talk about it much. My points of views and things, and that I often feel that I have.
Why?
Generally I just don't. I don't let it bother me. No, it don't bother me at the end of the day. I go, that's an interaction. If it's funny, I'll remember it and share it. Like, I'll show you the video of, if you wanted to, the video that I got of the tank that absolutely drove me insane as a healer. But it's just one of those things that if I have a story to tell, I'll tell the story if I remember it. I have a poor memory anyway. But I just don't talk about my feelings on certain aspects unless they're particularly strong at the time, or I'm asked about them, really, because I just don't bother to share. You know?
Okay, I get it. I work a little bit differently from that, I would say. But again, it's just how we choose to do things, which is fine. We should respect each other, and that's it. That's pretty much it, honestly. I would love to do another podcast with you. I already have like 2 different topics that I want to do with you.
Yay!
Obviously, one is very Final Fantasy related. The other one is about roleplay.
Okay.
So a bit of a sneak peek, I guess, a bit of a preview.
Yeah.
And obviously, I want to keep like things like I don't want to. This is why I told you like don't go into raid territory about Savage and stuff, because
it's hard not to when certain views do scream
overlap.
that yeah.
But because I do want, like for example, the difference between World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy in terms of raiding, that we discussed a little bit. Like it's very interesting because you have cleared some of the hardest content in game in Final Fantasy.
No, I haven't actually. I have not done the hardest, but I've done
some of the hardest.
Stuff.
Yeah, you've done some end game content, like proper end game content. You have done it, so we have to acknowledge that. Also, I want to say something about Daddy Kharsar. That he said to me once. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go back to Savage raiding, and I don't feel good, and blah 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 stuff like that. I was like, fuck off. And I did say that to him in his face, like, fuck off. You are a great healer. Like, you know what to do. Like, you're rusty.
See, I've told him.
Yes.
Yeah, I've told him. But I think also doing this raid here, I would like to say he's gained more confidence in himself. I would like to hope so, because I think he has, and he's gone very. He knows his stuff. It's just a refresher. He can do it. I know he can. I have faith that he can. And he's proved that he's done it. He's cleared half the tiers so far.
Exactly. I think the main issue with everything is that we don't want to ridicule ourselves. We don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to be that guy. So we're afraid. And honestly, I think the biggest teacher, so to speak, in any video game, in my opinion, was Dark Souls. I think that was the biggest point for me, because Dark Souls would be like, okay, so you want to rust things. I'm gonna fuck you up for that. Not forgiving at all. And this taught me, like, okay, if I die, I die. End of story, end of conversation. Like, I have the mentality of wiping is progress, if done correctly. Which is something I love even in Final Fantasy, because I keep hearing, like, from top tier players, like, they go, oh, I'm gonna prog for 1 hour into this thing, like, I want to reach that point of the fight, not end the fight, that point of the fight, which is insane to me, but I still love it, because, like, okay, they know what they're supposed to be doing. You're not wrong, it's not about confidence, it's about looking at chart and see how I perform, and how I perform makes me an incompetent healer.
No, not in my view.
Okay.
I
Hold on, I can ban Daddy Kharsar. Hold on, I can do that.
No, don't ban him.
I can delete the message at least.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. But seriously, Killian, I've told you this time and time again. I don't think you give yourself enough credit, and
you don't.
And we love you for the way you are.
We don't.
But we.
Ban me all you want. I won't change reality. And I can do a Thanos. Reality can be all I wish.
No, but seriously, you You healed me through some tight spots.
Okay.
So, and you've cleared two of the latest tier. That is something, though.
I'm gonna be a bit serious as well right now, Daddy Kharsar. And this is not because I like you as a person, that's a completely different aspect. And this is a question to everybody in chat. What makes a good player a good player? Also asking you, Daddy Kharsar, obviously.
I think it's someone who can learn and adapt to the fight. That makes a good player in my eyes, because they're willing to learn, willing to change, willing to go, okay, this is wrong. How do I be better myself? So I think that to me is what makes a good player, willing to adapt and overcome obstacles.
Being able to learn and improve and be humble and respectful. I absolutely agree with that.
Yep.
But I would tell you, I would add also to this, is how you treat other aspects of the game, how you are in other aspects of the game, compared to how you also do in Rage and Dungeon. For example, I will have this very vivid memory. We did together a dungeon in Endwalker. I was not new at the game, I was new at the content. So I knew how to play the game. Like, one of the things I did, for those that don't know, which is something I do not recommend. Actually, no, I do recommend it. I would level every single available class to that expansion up to level cap, then I would proceed to the next expansion. So, Realm Reborn, I did all the base classes, lower to level 50, then I switched to Heaven's Ward, leveled all the other classes I did so far, with the addition of Astrologian, Dark Knight, and Machinist. So I was playing like this. That's a great way to manage armor space. I don't know.
Look, we don't speak about spaces or the lack thereof in our armory and or inventory and or retainers. We don't speak about this. This is a forbidden topic. It's an unwritten rule. We don't speak about the lack of space, so we don't have UCP, please. If you're increasing the home sizes, can you please increase our backpacks? Please. Please, I'm begging you, UCP.
So I like, when I first enter a dungeon that I have not done before, I prefer not to know about it. I want to experience everything fresh. I want to see what's going to happen. I want to try and adapt. And I will tell you what Daddy Kharsar did or did not do at the time that I loved and I prefer that way. So it was I don't remember the exact mechanic, honestly. I don't remember. I think it was in the anima fight. Don't quote me on this, but I think it was the anima fight. Or the one fight beforehand. Basically, there was something that's happening. We had to stand in a specific place, and I missed the cue, the visual cue of where I'm supposed to stand. So I chose like, okay, I'm gonna stand here. So what Daddy Kharsar do is, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm going to the right spot at the last possible minute. By the way, at the last possible minute, not beforehand. Like, you didn't tip me off like, oh, he's moving over there because. When he's doing something like, okay, I think we're supposed to go, he left the very exact last minute, and he survived. I died. I was like, motherfucker. He did not rescue me.
No, you gotta look after yourself. First time we let you get hit, and we stand there, we point at you, and we laugh. Haha, you fucked up. Point and laugh. And then we're like, okay, come on. We got to do it this way and explain it. But that's the kind of thing that you can only do with friendship, though. If it was a random person, I wouldn't do that. But because it's you, I know I can do that. I can get away with that.
Here's the other thing, though, that happened, that obviously could only happen in a friend group. You all died, so we could do this again.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't stop the fight, like, okay, like, he's died, we're gonna rescue and we're gonna move on. You actually wiped, and we went again.
Yeah, it's half the fun.
The only thing Daddy Kharsar told me is like, be watchful of when he's facing that direction. He didn't tell me what to do exactly. He just gave me a little bit of a hint. That right there is the marking of a good player, because it shows that you can understand what is happening. You can give the tiniest little bit of hint to make it understood. And speaking as a former raid leader, this is very important. Like, use as many words as less words as possible to actually convey what's gonna happen. And when something is wrong, you adapt to it. That's how I define a good player. And Daddy Kharsar is that, and I will not hear anything about it. Are you the best that you can be? Absolutely not. You will never be. You will never be as best as you want to be or as you can be. Because why? Because you can always become better.
Yeah.
There's no ceiling. Like, the ceiling that we talk about is a level you can never reach because you don't have that time, you don't have that mindset. Rescue Hannah to her death. That did happen as
literally. We have done that, and that is always hilarious.
Not to Johanna. Not to Johanna whatsoever.
There was a time where I tried to pull you off the edge and I couldn't do it because it was just a bit too short and made me sad. Actually, that's also been done to me as well. In the recent raid tier at Daddy Tyrant, he one of my the co-healer that was healing at the time was like, come with me, because we were going to wipe anyway. We knew that, but she tried to yoink me off the edge as she jumped off the edge, but I was just like a millimeter too far away, and the rescue didn't quite work, so I stayed on the ledge and everybody laughed. It was so great, but it's only those moments that you can have as a healer, and it's so good. It's so good when you do a rescue just at the right time, or you rescue someone to their death.
Yeah, that's actually I do know that. I try not to do it because like I know it's fucking annoying. Because it's actually, I will tell you why I don't like rescue. I just realized it. As a person, this is real life aspect, I value freedom more than anything in the world, right? This is the most important thing to me. Like, if I don't have freedom, I'm fine. This is why I hate my life right now and I want to literally because I don't have that freedom. So when you take away control of me in any capacity, this is why I also hate crowd control, by the way. I absolutely detest that. I hate you with a passion at that moment.
Okay.
It's like, motherfucker. I absolutely hate it. Obviously, I don't treat it as the same thing as not having freedom. Like, we're not going to have that rabbit hole. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm not doing that. But yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, it gets to a point where sometimes it can be too much, but it's a fine balance. Once or twice is fine, and then it's like, okay, come on, guys, we're trying to do a thing. I mean, oh god, there's just so many good memories. Sometimes,
Absolutely. Those are the memories that stay with you, I believe. And I'm gonna do a shout out to. I was about to type Daddy Kharsar and I realized that won't work.
I made you do it. I made you do the thing I did.
Because I'm gonna give a shout out to Daddy Kharsar. I've never done that to Daddy Kharsar, so I'm gonna do that. They seem like an amazing person.
They are. They are an amazing person.
Fuck you, Daddy Kharsar. You're gonna get all the praise. We don't do fake positivity here. We do just positivity. Piss off.
We love you.
Yes. Also, as a funny note about myself, the more I curse you, the more I love you. Mitsuo knows.
Yeah.
Mitsuo knows.
Yeah, that's why you're always grounded.
Yes. So, I'm gonna end the podcast type thing. Should I play something else?
Up to you.
I don't know. Do you guys want to see something else? Do you want to do some Phasmophobia, maybe? Or should we call it a day? Should we call it a night? What do we do?
I'm happy to watch you.
No, go to bed. Okay.
Go to bed.
Personally,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good time. Like 2.5 hours. Okay, it's a decent stream time. I think.
Your old man is getting tired.
Yeah.
And I've done a 11-hour day today, so.
I did pretty much the same. honestly.
Yeah, it's been a long day. But good news is my hours are getting reduced starting April.
Oh, nice.
So
That's good to know.
yeah,
I
I think
actually
even
have
better.
a vacation this week.
Oh, same. Yes, so have I. Yes.
Yeah, nice.
I am. I'm an hour after my bedtime. Same here. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. But more or less, my hours are dropping to this year. It's going to be 38.5, and then next year reducing down to 37.5. But my wage is staying the same.
Wait, Hatching Tide is now available? What?
Yes, Hatch and Tide is now available. It is Easter. Little Lady's Day has just been and gone, so it's now Hatch and Tide. Which, Killian, we need to do before, ideally, Wednesday next week, if that's okay.
Oh no, I love
Um,
this. I don't have a shop.
Hatch,
God damn it.
Hatch and Tide is Easter based, so
It's March 23. It appears up to
March 20th.
April 6th.
Yeah,
God
up
damn
until.
it.
Yes, it literally started today, I
Not
believe.
today. Not today. It starts in
No?
2 days.
Oh, it starts in 2 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it. What is it? Yeah, Monday or Tuesday reset. So yeah, okay. Can we do that maybe on the first day it comes out, just because then I know it's done, because with how I'm helping my grandmother move next week, I would like to get it done before then, because I don't know how much longer afterwards I have.
I cannot do it. I'm sad.
It's okay. Do not worry. I will. What do we even get from it this year?
Some glasses I saw.
Where is it on my list?
I can give you the link right away, actually, if you want.
Yes, please. I want to have a quick nosy.
There you go.
I see. Yeah, you did send me the link the other day. Can I find it? No, because we chat too much. There it is. Okay, Hatch and Tide. Oh, they're cute. Oh, I gotta get some of that stuff for Kobe.
Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna rate someone and call it a night. Daddy Khar,
Okay,
thank
not
you
me.
so much. I'm not rating you.
Yes.
Thank you so
Good.
much for today. It was amazing. I loved it. It was great.
Thank you.
Nope.
Oh God, don't mind me.
I love you.
Thank
Now-
you very much for having me.
Now piss off my Discord call.
You leave. You're the guest here. Get out.
Oh, true. I'm the guest. Okay. Bye. Good night.
Bye.